On a desolate road with few travelers, a couple searched for lodging after a long journey to rest and recover their strength. A portly man behaved suspiciously, quickly hiding evidence upon noticing the couple's arrival. The couple remained oblivious to the unusual circumstances, concerned only with their accommodation arrangements. Unaware of the lurking threat, the villain had already marked the woman as his prey. Immediately after checking into their room, the perpetrator quickly moved toward a certain direction. Along the way, women's items accidentally spilled from his bag. Still in the honeymoon phase of their relationship, the lovers remained immersed in romantic bliss, completely letting their guard down as they enjoyed their intimate moments. Meanwhile, the proprietor watched their behavior, harboring sinister thoughts. He immediately gathered his accomplices to devise a plan for execution the following day. Completely unaware they had fallen into a trap, the couple continued enjoying their romantic time. During their meal, the criminals found their opportunity. The portly man secretly poisoned their drinks, revealing his true nature when an unexpected incident occurred. Employees seemed to want to issue a warning, using signals to indicate danger. However, the couple failed to comprehend the warning signs, and the armed criminals launched their attack. The man drew his gun in self-minded defense, engaging in an armed standoff. The criminals bizarrely chose to withdraw, giving them a chance to leave. They allowed the couple to drive away, but this was all part of their arranged trap, deliberately luring them into their snare. The plan proceeded as expected. Before they had gone far, the couple encountered criminals posing as law enforcement officers. The woman naively went to investigate the situation while the man was ambushed. By the time they realized something was wrong, it was too late. They had missed their final chance to escape. Both fell unconscious and were soon taken back to the criminal's lair. The man was brought to an execution pit already containing multiple corpses, presumably all passing travelers. He was thrown into the death pit, his life hanging by a thread. The woman's fate was imprisonment in a dark chamber. The criminals, entranced by her beauty, could barely contain themselves as they advanced toward the helpless woman. However, without orders from their leader, the subordinates dared not act independently. They locked the woman in a cage while leering at her from outside. At this point, a blonde female accomplice arrived who, driven by jealousy over her appearance, immediately attacked her with a water gun. The cold water impact brought the girl back to consciousness, and she desperately pleaded for mercy. But this only further enraged her tormentor, who continued the assault for half an hour. The vicious woman finally ceased her brutality. Meanwhile, under the scorching sun, the man awakened from unconsciousness. The criminals had removed any climbing tools, making escape impossible. An elderly person advised him to abandon hope of survival, claiming no one had ever escaped this place alive. Desperately attempting to jump to freedom would only hasten death's arrival. As night quietly fell, the woman accidentally discovered an iron nail on the floor of her cell. Seeing hope for escape, she slowly rose to prepare for action. Moving her body within the narrow space, she successfully caught the guard's attention, and the criminal became increasingly excited by her provocation. His greedy gaze nearly bulged from his sockets as he stared at the caged woman, who repeatedly performed seductive movements. Unable to resist temptation any longer, he unhesitatingly unlocked her restraints and opened the prison door. Completely bewitched and forgetting his criminal nature, his judgment was clouded by lust. The woman judged the moment was right, quietly approached from behind, aimed for a vital spot, and launched her attack. The criminal screamed in agony. Meanwhile, the fake police officer, unable to bear the guilt of his heinous crimes, sought release from his torment. This unexpectedly created an escape opportunity for the man, who used the bodies of the deceased to successfully climb out of the pit. Following the sounds of screaming, he quickly reached the imprisonment site, with no time to seek revenge on the other criminals. They drove off in the opposite direction at high speed. However, on the middle of the highway, they encountered the mastermind. The criminal arrogantly believed himself invincible and attempted to stop the vehicle with his bare body. The couple had no intention of slowing down, and the ringleader ultimately met his demise.